Stellar Blade's highly anticipated PC release is finally here, and it is being met with so much positivity. Sure, there are a couple of people who are really upset, particularly over the mods. Most are enjoying it, and it is already one of Sony's biggest Steam launches ever. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, we all had a feeling that this was going to do really well on PC because they said that it exceeded their expectations in sales on the PlayStation. I did think that it was a really fantastic game. It was one of my top contenders for Game of the Year last year, but there were a couple of games that were better, and of course, Black Myth Wukong was a near perfect experience, though I am going to be replaying Stellar Blade on PC. I am going to be modding it up, and I will be live streaming it in case you want to see it for yourself before you decide to purchase. But it is very clear that a lot of people have decided to finally take the plunge and support Shift Up because it only released on PC yesterday, and it is already one of Sony's biggest Steam launches ever, only beaten by Helldivers 2, which of course has an insane 458,000 peak on Steam. So I don't think that Stellar Blade is going to top that, but it's definitely number two, a clean sweep. It says, though, the PC version of Stellar Blade only launched yesterday, June 11th, but it is already Sony's biggest single-player Steam launch ever. Right now, the concurrent peak player is almost 105,000, but that's the 7th all-time peak the game has set since I started writing this story, and it since then has done even better. As of right now, on a Thursday afternoon, it's sitting at 106,000, but the all-time peak was only 4 hours ago at 183,830. So it has clearly overtaken the other single-player titles. And again, the only other Sony title on Steam that has done better is Helldivers 2, but that is multiplayer. So one would assume that that would still probably hold that record for a long time until another that is similar comes around. But it says, by comparison, Ghost of Tsushima topped out at 77,154 players, which really great game. God of War peaked at 73,529, and Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered sports a peak of 66,436 players. In fact, the only Sony-published game to have a higher concurrent record, is Helldivers 2, which is, of course, a multiplayer game. PC-specific features include AI upscaling using DLSS 4 and AMD FSR 3, an unlocked frame rate, Japanese and Chinese voiceovers, ultra-wide display support, higher resolution environment textures, and DualSense support for haptic feedback and trigger effects. This is all really cool, and I know that a lot of people are pretty excited for the added content. We, of course, did get an update today. Along with this, there is a new boss fight. There are 25 new costumes, so it's not like they just brought it to PC and were like, yeah, I guess have fun if you haven't bought it already. There is quite a lot of updated content, which I do think is really nice, and I can't wait to play this game again. I thought it was really fantastic, and if you were definitely skeptical about buying the PlayStation version because there were some censored costumes, even though most people have kind of deduced at this point it was because of Sony, especially after the hard R controversy, and Sony made the developers remove that from the game. We do know that those costumes are uncensored, and of course, since it is on PC, you can literally just nude mod the game if that's what you want to do. I highly recommend you check out a DEG mods and a Yaka mods. Really, really cool. I'll personally be modding the game on stream as well to enjoy Eve's best assets. But it says the PC version was originally region locked in 100 plus countries, but is now available in over 250 regions. And yes, there are mods. Dozens and dozens have popped up with modders making all kinds of tweaks and buffs, which I do think is really freaking cool. Now, is as it says, 183,000 people, the most on a Steam launch ever? No, of course not. But for a game that has already previously launched on another platform and did exceedingly well, this game is still holding its own. There are still people either repurchasing it or playing it for the first time who are definitely willing to give it a chance. And this is a Wednesday and Thursday launch, okay? We're not talking about the weekend. So into the weekend, I do definitely think it could top 200,000 and maybe even go higher. like 250, but it is already going very well for Shift Up. And of course, that means that it has absolutely blazed past other questionable titles like Dragon Age the Veilguard. I mean, now it's doubled Veilguard's number and then a little bit of change, of course, when that launched in October 2024, its all-time peak was 89,418. So, I mean, modern audience versus the based audience, which group wins? Gee whiz. I don't think we could have ever imagined this being the outcome. You also have titles like Assassin's Creed Shadows, which right now in game is 2,488, but the all-time peak previously, as of 3 months ago, was 64,825. So again, a massive difference here, which is so cool to see. And we, of course, have the developers coming out and saying they're so appreciative and so grateful that so many people have supported them, because Stellar Blade is the #1 on the global top sellers list for Steam. Kim Tae-young said, "We've come so far thanks to all of you. We were able to become one of the top global sellers on Steam thanks to the support from all of our users. We'd like to express our sincere gratitude." And of course, there are so many people who are saying congratulations, we're so happy for you. This game is a really good experience. And of course, there are a lot of modders who are saying, well, this is why the game is doing so well. And I do agree to a certain extent, right? I am replaying it because of the modding capability. I think that that is really nice. And I do think that with it being on another major platform, it means even more people can enjoy it. But Dragon Age was so woke. How could this game do any better? The day's AAA companies are numbered AA and Indie for the win. To be fair, Veilguard is a very low bar to surpass, which is true. I mean, I think we all expected it to do better than Dragon Age the Veilguard, but it's just still so funny because, of course, you have the Jason Schreier saying, "Oh, get woke, go to the top of the charts," even though Veilguard literally is not at the top of any charts long term. Initially on release day, sure, it was like the #2 or #3 highest seller on the platform for like a single day, and that was it. Never bet on the modern audience. 122K right now. Man, I wonder how high it'll get. Just a few hours. Yeah, that's usually when games peak, either on their release or a big update. I think that this person just doesn't understand that we're talking about a Wednesday and a Thursday set of numbers, never mind going into the weekend when most people are actually going to be giving this a chance. So right now, Stellar Blade's PC release is doing really fantastically. It's sitting at overwhelmingly positive with over 4,000 reviews, and you just love to see it. And it just goes to show that we were correct in that sexy sells, and the modern audience who is purchasing games like Assassin's Creed Shadows and Dragon Age the Veilguard and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League and Concord and Flintlock the Siege of Dawn, those people don't actually buy or play video games, and to make games cater to them is a waste of money. So I'll be keeping my eye on this. I will be streaming it over the weekend and showing off the PC launch for everybody, but for now, that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.